What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're out in Santa Barbara today, and you know we got to kick this thing off with a solid workout. I got the BFD Dumbell out, ready to go. It's loaded to about 45, 50 pounds. Killer spot. We're just north of Santa Barbara in a place called Goleta, and that right there is the Ritz-Carlton. Had an awesome client set me up in this thing for the weekend, did a little workshop. You'll see some footage on that, but let's kick this thing off with some BFD action. Let's get into it. Walk this big ass thing with the BFD. Look at that view. Ritz-Carlton, Santa Barbara. Actually, we're in Goleta, a little bit north of Santa Barbara. I gotta say, this has to be in the top 3 hotels I've ever stayed at in my entire life. The property was huge, the steakhouse knocked it out of the park, and everything was on point. This place was absolutely awesome.
Oh, no way!
The BFD!
Holy moly! What do we do with this?
So you fill them with water.
Okay.
And we happen to have a water fountain right here.
An EFD, what is it called?
I just called it BFD dumbbell. Like, remember how the video games back in the day had the BFG, the big fucking gun?
Yeah,
so it's the big fucking dumbbell.
Holy
Water in there, and it's for big dogs. Because you know, a big dog will grab a ball and just
Oh, yeah.
pop it. So with that,
Right.
they go nuts trying to. Tight them glutes up. I'm getting the back side of it, bro. I'm going.
Get it up.
Yeah, and that's 120 pounds?
Oh yeah.
That's good, man.
Oh no.
Oh, that's keeping the whole body
I
still.
mean,
Nah.
Just one.
it's like a knee.
That's vicious.
Right.
Do it, McGee.
Here you go.
That's vicious.
That's 120 right there.
Yeah, I don't.
That guy? Yeah. He's doing
Wrong leg. Left leg back. Lock it out hard. Left hand down. Slide your left leg through the pocket. Down on your ass. Slowly to the back of the sit-up. Charge up out of the sit-up. Lift up. Get your knee under you. There you go.
It's taking too long.
Get up to a lunge. And before you lunge up, make sure everything is straight and stable.
So it bumps up right now?
And then lunge, yeah, with that front leg, lunge straight up.
If I had it down pack, it'd be a little easier because I'm like, hold on.
It's concentration
That's good,
and everything.
Yeah, they call that the Turkish getup. All right, here we are, day 2, training with me up in Santa Barbara. We're going over core lifts, so you know the Turkish getup's going to sneak on the menu somehow. And everybody has sort of a love-hate relationship with this exercise, but really, here's the thing. You learn so much about yourself through the journey and the process of getting better at the Turkish getup. You're going to have all your ducks in a line to get better at this exercise, and all of these little mechanics and techniques that you learn on the Turkish getup are going to pay off later when you get to the advanced exercises like the snatch and the long cycle. You're going to have a good lockout, perfect hand insertion. You're going to know how to pack the shoulder, body position and awareness, positional strength, knowing when to be fast, knowing when to be slow, knowing when to move on, feeling the bell when it gets wobbly and out of position, being able to correct that. It's an awesome exercise for teaching basic mechanics. I paired that up with this zombie crawl. So we did 1 rep per side on the get up and then right into this exercise in sort of a superset fashion. This is the zombie crawl. It's a walking renegade row, if you want to think about it like that, or a plyometric plank. You hop 1 kettlebell forward about a foot, and then you hop your legs right behind it at the same time. Kettlebell hop, and then legs hop. 1 kettlebell hop, legs right behind it. Good little pairing of the 2 exercises there. They work well together. Okay. The Turkish get-up is actually taught as a beginner exercise, and that doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but like I said, the mechanics and the techniques you learn on the get-up, like the shoulder packing, the hand insertion, the body awareness, the positional strength, that all pays off later when you get to the harder lifts, like the snatches, the jerks, the windmills, double kettlebell training. So it's definitely an exercise I recommend you throw in there. And if you get bored with just get-ups, pair it up with something like this. This would be the zombie crawl, as I call it. Next up, we started talking about complexes with the Turkish get-up and using that exercise as a platform to make an entire full body workout. So here's an example here. I'm going to throw up a couple snatches, and where the snatch finishes off, you can transition right into a reverse Turkish get-up, and that's where you start on the top and then descend to the very bottom. You can add floor presses to the very bottom of the get-up when you get down there with no change in position. You can just go right to them. Then you got the up phase of the Turkish get-up, getting the knee through, finishing the deal and standing up. And then you can add another exercise prior to changing hands. In this case, I'm going to just do the clean and jerk. So I added the snatch to the front of the get-up, I added the floor press to the middle, and I'm adding the clean and jerk to the end. Then I've got to do the entire thing on the other side, starting with the snatch. And right where the snatch finishes off at that lockout, I can just transition right into my Turkish get-up, starting from the top, of course. And at the very bottom, I can add floor presses with no change in position. Should just be able to go from one right to the next with what you're doing. I got to make my way up from the Turkish get-up and then finish off with the 3 clean and jerks on top. And then I've added to the front of the get-up, the back of the get-up, and the middle of the get-up. And, you know, if you've got all those lifts kind of put together, those are a lot of big lifts, but it creates a very full body experience when you can throw them all together like this. And that would be 1 complete set. So you snatches, get-ups, floor press, and long cycle, all balled up into 1 smooth deal. Turkish get-up complex. Okay, next part of the workout is we're going to be using the BFD dumbbell. This is basically 2 12-inch hydro mace globes filled with water. The water does not slosh back and forth. The pipe in the middle separates them, so you got to kind of be careful you don't overload one side more than the other. It's about 45 pounds right now, half full of water. Yes, you can fill them all the way up and it gets to like 85 pounds, but then you lose the sloshing around effect. And that's what's specific to the BFD dumbbell. Press. Now, back leg is perpendicular to the front leg, right? Do the windshield wiper, turn it sideways. This arm's going to stay at 90 degrees. And I'm going to hinge out. Try to get down to my forearm right there. Control that freaking bell. And then come up. Inhale down. Hold your breath at the bottom. Then I would just simply change sides over here. Rock it out over there. So I think this, like, to get the kneeling windmill, you got to have this orientation, not this.
Okay.
Because this way you can hinge to the
hinge,
side.
Yeah.
If you hinged over without doing that, see how that kind of crimps your hips up?
Hold on.
This will allow you to hinge back and open that back hip right here and chop that right out. That's complex. We got a single kettlebell goblet complex. You might want to take notes. This one's going to get your heart rate up, fry the entire body, give you some strength endurance. Check this out. Dead swing. 1. Dead swing. 2. 3. 4. 5. 5 regular swings. Swing catch. Goblet squat. 5. Bicep curl. Squatted. Push up. 5. That's a single kettlebell goblet complex. A minute work, a minute break. Do at least 3, maybe go up to 5. Check it out. Ooh, this cardio circuit's rough. Bulgarian bag, 50-pound medicine ball, slams and presses with the ball, spins with the bag, jumps up to the top of the bleachers, bear crawls down the bleachers on the steps. Rough cardio. Check it out. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, let's go. This is the 3rd round. 4, 3, 2, let's go.
Holy shit.